Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 6th of February 2023. No video from me yesterday, and I thought what I'd do today is talk about what I call the doom and gloom sales method. I first came across this, it first came on my radar around 2008, 2009, 10, that kind of era. And I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy, probably haven't, but you might have. A guy called Mike Dillard. And at the time, he was really full of doom and gloom because it was just following after the financial crash there in 2008. And basically what he was doing is saying, well, if you thought this financial crash is bad, you haven't seen anything yet, because what's about to happen, according to my sources, etc., is there's going to be a huge collapse, pensions are going to be wiped out, inflation's going to go through the roof, jobs are going to become very scarce, and all of the usual doom and gloom stuff. And then lo and behold, after coming out of all of that, it just so happened that he was selling a course for about £500 or even more, sort of saying, if you buy this course, you'll be okay, because I'll show you what to do with your money and where to invest and everything to make sure that you not only don't suffer from the coming collapse, but you actually thrive. And I was like, oh dear. But that is just such a common way that people have got to get what they want out of you, isn't it? Of course, the doom and gloom sales method is favoured by the mainstream media, and they aren't necessarily selling you anything, but they are they want your attention, and if they get enough views and attention, they can then attract advertisers and therefore get their money that way. So they are essentially selling to you, but they just need you to keep coming back for more doom and gloom. So that's what they're all about. The government, again, they're all about doom and gloom for the most part, because they are trying to sell you their agendas and their policies, and of course they want your vote the next general election. So they're basically selling you stuff, and the best way to sell to you is through the doom and gloom. And they're not the only ones. Plenty of people on our side of the argument also utilize the doom and gloom sales method. Some of them because they are actually trying to sell you stuff, but you don't necessarily have to be selling something or selling something directly to use this rather dodgy sales method. Some people are just in it to get maybe more views on social media platforms, or they just want to grow their audience in some way. And again, once you get, I suppose, 100,000 subscribers or whatever, you can then make some serious money from advertising and all the other ways people use to make money from social media. So even people on our side of the argument use the doom and gloom sales method, and almost always the doom and gloom is hyped up to such a degree that reality never really catches up with it. Going back to this Mike Dillard guy and all his doom and gloom about an even bigger financial collapse around about the 2010 time, well, that didn't happen, did it? Okay, I know people watching this may well sort of say, well, financial collapse is going to happen at some stage, it's inevitable. But is it? Is it inevitable, or is it just because people want to essentially sell you something through the doom and gloom sales method? And my best defense against this is basically not to worry about any of this doom and gloom stuff. Kind of keep an eye on things that might be of concern, but not be overly worried about it, especially if you can't do anything about it. If you can do something, like these 15-minute city things, I think by pushing back against it with the things we've got planned, Oxford on the 18th and all of that kind of thing, there is something you can do. But if you can't do anything about it, some kind of huge financial collapse, there's not a lot of point in worrying about it, is there really, until it actually happens. Yes, you can make sensible preparations, take some sensible precautions, but after you've done that, just put it to the back of your mind and forget about it. And that really goes for all of these other issues that people want you to be worried about. They want you to be endlessly worried about pretty much everything, really. The agenda 2030 thing and everything that's there. They want you worried about big V mandates coming back and lurgy mandates coming back. They want you to be worried about I'm not going to go into all of the other usual things, but the trouble is, if you worry too much about all of this stuff, it kind of lowers your vibration, and our job is to keep our vibration as high as possible, because that then tends to, I think, in a spiritual way, divert bad things away from happening, or at least they're not nearly as bad as what they could be. So be aware, but just don't worry about all of these things that the doom and gloom merchants want you to be worried about, because after all, they are trying to sell you something. That's what you've got to ask is what is this person trying to sell me? There's a guy called Rob who I've mentioned a few times, and what he says, and he says to do this with pretty much everyone, whether it's the mainstream media, the government, or even people on our side. What does this person stand to gain by me paying attention to this thing that they are saying? Or who stands to gain if I pay attention to this thing? And if it's a doom and gloom thing, well, you can bet your life that this person may well be using, or probably is using, what I've termed here as the doom and gloom sales method to try and get some kind of sale out of you. Sale in inverted commas. It might actually be the purchase by yourself of an actual product. It might just be your attention. It might be your subscription to their sort of channel, or to their site, or to anything like that. And there is a lot of different things that they want you to subscribe to, or to to get off you, basically. At the end of the day, these people just want your attention. That's kind of what it's all about. All of these people want your attention, because that is almost the new currency. Human attention, the attention of human beings, is one of the most valuable commodities there is, because if they can get your attention, like I described, they can get your views and then get your subscriptions, and then that enables them to make lots of money through advertising revenues, etc. So that, I hope, has just given a bit of an insight as to what some hidden agendas might be, and also maybe giving you some insights there on how to deal with the doom and gloom. So next time you come across any kind of doom and gloom article, just ask yourself the question, what is it that this person is trying to get out of me? What do they or anyone else stand to gain if I pay attention to this and I believe in it? And is it just because they are trying to use the doom and gloom sales method on me? So just a little bit of a thought there for a bright, what I must say is a bright, sunny, beautiful Monday morning. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's not a cloud in the sky. No, I can't see any clouds at all. It's bright, beautiful sunshine, and it's about 10-11 degrees, which at this time of the year in this part of the country is pretty much as good as it's going to get. So it is absolutely fantastic, and I'm pretty sure I've seen the odd daffodil or whatever, snowdrops, daffodils starting to poke their heads up out of the soil as well, being attracted by this gorgeous weather, and I can't blame them. So gonna leave it there. Back tomorrow. Tim from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.